the end of the day, you cannot take your wrestler's safety lightly. You know, accidents happen, and you've got to be responsible for every single person in that room. And your referees that are in that ring, they are your first port of call. And if they can't tell that one of those wrestlers is injured, they don't deserve to be in that ring. You have got, yes, you're first aid trained as well. Yes, you are. Hayden's in the background going, I am too. So we've, you know, I mean, that's for the coaching as well. So full DBS checks, full first aid training, pediatric as well, because you've got to cover everything. But you need to make sure that they're safe, because at the end of the day, we're telling storylines where injury angles happen. And if all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't know if that's real, we need to make sure that everything's covered. And the way that I work it is if anybody's injured, we stop massively. And if they're injured to a point where we can't move them, the show stops. That's it. You know, tickets could be moved. Lives are important, and it's having that high level of safety. So when I take the ring out, obviously the promoters that I'm working for are then getting a first aider as well. But I think if you're running a promotion and you don't have first aid, that's a big no-no. You need to have first aid. And anybody who doesn't, they shouldn't be running. They really shouldn't.
And the thing is, you're not the first person to say first aid training is important. And it actually is, you know what I mean? It's like you said there, the referee's the first protocol.
Yeah.
Even wrestlers should be.
But even, yeah, like Dutch has just said.
Like I knew, as soon as I knew, I tried to get the message over to you and to the referee. And
yeah, so even down to the wrestlers being first aid trained as well. You know, it's not compulsory, but having some knowledge of that and understanding. But one of the things that we do teach at Fight Factory is about injuries and how you manage them to enable either the matches to continue if it's possible, but also how to get that message to your referee, how to get that message to the first aider so that they know exactly what's going on. Because one false move, you know, especially if it's a broken neck, that is a big deal. So yeah, so important. Can't stress it enough.
Well said, well said. One thing we've not spoke about is obviously the streaming thing, which is obviously you've got recently. Talk about that.
Yeah, so we wanted to try and do a different way of our video on demand. We obviously have video on demand anyway, but we wanted to try and do something live. It's had a few teething issues to start off with, and I think that's just down to the platform itself being not very user-friendly, and me being a bit, what's the word?
technophobic.
Oh, I'm technophobic massively. Like, in order to come on here, I had to get Dutch to set this up. And there's a lot of things he can't do. You know, some people will laugh at this because sometimes he can't tie his own shoelaces, but he can set this up. So, barely. So yeah, so we were hoping to go live on March 29th. It